Hey everybody, this is Denny.
This is James from TeaDB, bringing you episode number 235. We have some more Korean tea, some Balhyocha.
Yeah.
This is one, Arthur recently talked to me of morning Korean tea, and he told me that this one he especially recommends, and they are doing a group buy in November, so I figured it's a good time to bring this on.
And we say they, who do you mean?
I mean, Arthur is coordinating a group buy for morning Korean teas.
My bad. I was thinking of
those of you.
owners.
No.
Yeah.
It's good to clarify. So, if you are interested in this tea, which we are about to have for the first time, we will give you a review.
Yeah, we'll let you know what we think of it.
Yeah.
I think so far we've been continuously impressed with these green teas. They're really fun to drink. So this has a really beautiful aroma.
Yeah, and this looks to have slightly bigger leaves than the other ones, which had some very small ones. Let's take a smell.
Raisins. Like just so much sweet fruit. A little like plum, kind of like a plummy plum sauce sort of vibe in there too. Yum. Stoked. Can't wait. Nice little roasted vibes.
Yeah,
Smells
definitely
really good.
darker, raisiny.
Yep.
Interesting.
Smells
so
yummy.
Yeah, and he gave me some notes on this, and I am struggling to read them. We will skip that for now.
Yeah, that's illegible. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I got the important parts. It is will be available in November. It's called Noeulhangki. It's a type of Balhyocha from Hwage Valley in Korea.
And if you wanted to spell that, Noeulhangki. Good luck. Those folks out there who are like me and
just like to drink this stuff.
No idea what that means or how to put that into Google. That is hopefully a helpful hint.
Yeah, you can go check out Morning Crane Tea, and they will do a lot better at these things. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out on their website.
So, normally we're brewing stuff out of a kind of gongfu method, out of a gaiwan.
Yeah.
James, what are we doing here?
We're using, this is actually a Japanese pot, Kyushu.
Yeah.
Japanese and Korean, there's a lot of overlap in sort of the teaware they use. They are both also drink a lot of green tea as far as that goes. Share a lot of the same influences. So we are using this because this is the closest thing I have.
Cool. In terms of brewing parameters, we're normally doing flash brews or brews that are going, 5 seconds or under, especially in the beginning.
Right.
But this was hanging out for a minute. What was the...
Yeah, and no rinse, as some of you might note. I am having this tea for the first time, so I'm sort of improving these parameters. It's probably a little bit closer to black tea, maybe slightly cooler water than we would normally use for black tea. So cooling it down slightly in the cooling device and then pouring it over. Getting a lot more black tea vibes off of it now.
Yeah, poppy seeds is something that's kind of popping out to me. It's just sort of a weird thing to say, but dang, that smells good. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's drink.
Yeah, let's drink.
Yum, yum. Hot. I can tell. That was like a half sip.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn myself.
Wait for this to cool down just a little bit. Even though we cooled it down, these cups get extremely hot with the sort of thin walls and stuff like that. So
true, although they will cool down more quickly as a result of the thin walls as well.
That's also true.
God damn, these teas are so good. They're so unique too.
It's really kind of like refreshing.
Yeah.
And sort of like gives a sort of like menthol refreshness to your breath.
It's a nice kind of curving down into sort of deeper, mellower notes. It starts off, it's very sweet. It starts off with kind of like a sweet roast vibe going on. I wouldn't call this fruity per se, but there are definitely some sort of notes there. I think it had more of an aroma of fruit than a taste.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of creaminess to it even too.
These seems to sort of categorically have this sort of like creamy graininess, and it's like which grain you're drinking depends on the different leaf. But these all tend to have that sort of like, it's not like sprouted grain. It's sort of like, milled oat kind of just like creaminess to it that is really wonderful. There's something in the front of this that kind of hits me immediately that... I'm sure.
It's really quite sweet from the outset. It has some greener flavors, but also has some darker flavors integrated in.
It's like grapevines almost, like kind of like it's not like vegetal. Like I say tomato vines sometimes because it kind of gives you that sort of like spicy earth vibe, almost like peppery. But it's vegetal, but in a different way, and it does have that menthol-y kind of tongue cooling thing going on a little bit.
I think the raisins is actually. I find that in the taste as well. You noted it in the aroma.
I think one of the things too about this tea is that, or these teas in general, is that they have this sort of like white tea viscosity and like notes of those sort of like honeysuckle flower sweetness a little bit. These continue to be so freaking good. I mean, God, I feel kind of bad on the show for bringing something on and just sort of raving about it every time, but dang, these are continuously really good.
You guys might wonder why we're bringing on so many teas from Morning Grain. It's because they're good, and there's not a whole lot of sources out there for green teas. So.
Yeah, and these are really yummy. That being said, this isn't going to replace your raw pu'er. I mean, it's just a different thing entirely, right?
Yeah.
So for folks out there who are like, oh, what have I been doing my whole life? I've been drinking green tea. Well, there's a lot of tea out there to be drinking, and within those categories, they're going to have really, really good stuff, and obviously not so good stuff. But these just, God, we've done 230 plus episodes. It's hard to find unique flavors, and these continue to impress.
Yeah, and they're different from one another too. Yeah. And frankly, we haven't had enough reps on any of them to really be like, oh, this one is clearly different in this fashion, but there's a variety within the category as well. Yeah,
these tend to be, so after the show, when we have extra, James will send me home with a bunch of tea and assigned homework in essence, but I usually don't do the homework and I just keep drinking the morning grain tea. It's so freaking good. So, okay, passing the mom test. This is the kind of teas that I'm going to categorically reach to just be like, try this.
Yeah.
Because I think
people... This will destroy the mom test.
Yeah, definitally the language that I would use.
Dominate the mom test.
Obliterate the mom. Oh, my God. All right, look at the... You're totally right on about the leaves. They're huge.
Yeah.
Get my fingers
especially for
here.
these teas. I feel like the Korean teas have had proportionately smaller leaves in general, but these are big leaves.
Yeah, and they're still unfurling. These are still pretty kind of a little bit crisp here. These definitely are going to have a couple more brews in them. These will die off more quickly, especially because of the way that we're brewing them.
Right. And
also it's just the sort of more akin to a kind of a black tea category. Would it be considered a black tea?
No. Well, not...
It's fermented?
Some have... Arthur kind of instructed me on this after we brought some shows on. He said some definitely have more similarities to black tea. It's its own separate category, Balhyocha. And it's kind of not exactly like oolong, but that might be the most similar category.
From a processing perspective.
Yeah, and within oolong, we know that there's just a huge amount of variety.
Yeah.
So I think this category is sort of similar in that way. It's just not incredibly well known.
And for you folks out there who aren't able to see maybe the tea in the cup, really brilliant yellow, orange.
In fact, the liqueur is, if anything, the most different thing from a black tea.
More yellow.
Yeah.
All of these have that just sort of like wonderful smoothing curve through these flavors of that kind of roast. It really just brings everything together. Oh God.
All of them leave like this really
Fanboy.
nice sweetness that just sort of lingers on the palate.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna, I'm improving this brew, as I've said, and we're gonna use just the remaining water, haven't reheated it, and just gonna pour directly for this one.
Cool.
See what we can get.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this just bridges the soft elegance to sound like a total bouge dude.
Ooh.
The soft elegance of a white tea with the kind of body and more stronger flavor profiles of those black teas. And then just a whole nother shade of something in there. Really lovely. Bringing together flavors that aren't typical. These do tend to sort of live closer to those sort of Oriental beauty flavor profiles than anything else, but they're unique and certainly don't map on directly on top of those. Yeah, lovely.
Totally agree. A good tea for those that are not super interested in like the Chinese dark teas, but want to explore some unique sort of things.
And then, that residual, I think the one thing that I would say categorizes, or at least is a through line with a lot of these teas, is that sort of sweet, acorny, nutty roast. And,
And just so well done in a lot of these teas, and just really, really pleasant all around.
Yeah, crazy.
That's why this tea destroys the mom test.
Let's see here. Noeulhangki is like its name, pure poetry. Gave up corporate life dedicated to this has indeed. It should be internationally reputable at the very least for his Balhyochas.
Balhyocha.
Excuse me, because these are so freaking good. Go out there and pick these up, fam. Hashtag TFam.
Yeah, go check it out in November. Arthur doing his group buy. And
how do people get in touch with Arthur?
Yeah, we have his email right there, so that's probably a good way to contact him directly.
Cool.
And I know he travels to Korea semi-regularly, and he has some really good connections out there. I mean, the tea speaks for itself, I think, in this case. So
so yummy. All right, one last
go at it.
Cheers.
I'd say this one has changed maybe the least steep to steep. It's been actually pretty constant.
Yep.
And I'm not complaining.
No. Yeah. Not in. Yeah. Exactly. It doesn't. It's not. Some of our pu'er teas we bring on the show have a little bit of like a steepings 5 to 7 that are like pretty unapproachable sometimes, or can be strong, so let's say. And there's a lot more movement in those teas. This is not that case, and yet freaking awesome. So definitely obliterating and destroying the mom's test. The mom test. Boom.
Bam.
Thanks, Arthur. And folks who do want to grab some tea, Morning Cream Tea at sbcglobal.net.
Google them, find them. They are a really small company. I'm not even sure if Arthur would categorize themselves as a company. I know he does his group buys. He told me in his last one, I think he lost money. So he offers them at a really approachable rate, which is bad for him and good for you guys. So if he really believes in spreading the access of these teas. So
totally awesome. Appreciate you, Arthur. Go check out one of these Morning Crane teas, even if you don't end up getting the November group buy.
Yeah, try one.
Yeah, these have been some of the most interesting teas that we brought onto the show, and it's cool because it makes me think, gosh, there's a lot of stuff out there we probably still haven't even gotten close to approaching. So much tea to try, so little time, way too much caffeine. So James, if folks want to learn more about tea in general, beyond checking out Morning Crane Tea,
yeah, they should go check us out on TeaDB.org. If you're interested in Korean teas, we have a playlist for that, so check that out. We've reviewed a number of teas that Morning Crane sells, that they sort of cycle throughout the year, so there's some green teas worth checking out there as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos from us, and we will see you guys next time.
Cheers.